Picture this: the grand ballroom of the historic Fairmont Copley Plaza in Boston. Chandeliers dripping with crystals like frozen rain, casting a golden haze over 250 guests in their finest black tie attire. It's October 12th, 2024, and my son Marcus is at the head table. His new bride Sophia beaming beside him in a Vera Wang gown that cost more than my annual salary. The air smells of champagne and filet mignon, laughter bubbling up like the bubbles in those flutes. And there I am, Henry Thompson, 58 years old, a math teacher from a modest suburb in Quincy, standing at the microphone after the toasts have wrapped. My hand trembles just a bit on the stand, but my voice is steady when I start. Good evening, everyone. I'm Henry, Marcus's father. A smattering of polite claps. But before I can continue, Marcus shoots up from his seat, his face flushed under the spotlight. He strides over, hand outstretched for the mic, whispering harshly enough for the front rows to hear. Dad.
Not now.
You're embarrassing me in front of everyone. Those words hit like a punch to the gut, the kind that knocks the wind out of you and leaves you gasping in silence. Embarrassing him?
Me?
The man who'd scraped together over $120,000 from my late wife's life insurance to make this day possible. The honeymoon. The band. The photographer, all while his in-laws, the Harringtons, paraded around like they'd footed every bill. I locked eyes with him. My son. The boy I'd raised alone for 6 years after Elena's death. And something inside me snapped. Not with rage. Not yet. It was quieter, deeper, a slow unraveling of the thread I'd been holding onto for too long. I didn't hand over the mic. Instead, I turned and walked out of that ballroom, the heavy doors swinging shut behind me with a thud that echoed in my chest. Outside in the cool autumn air, I pulled out my phone and made 3 calls that would unravel everything they'd built on my silence. Let me take you back. Because to understand that moment, you need to feel the weight of what led up to it. Elena passed on a rainy morning in March 2018. Pancreatic cancer that came fast and furious, stealing her in just 9 months. She was a pediatric nurse at Boston Children's Hospital, working doubles to keep us afloat while I taught algebra to hormonal teens at Quincy High.
We deed met in college.
2 kids from working-class families dreaming of stability. She left behind a prudential policy worth $90,000. Her signature on the form still crisp, like she'd just signed it yesterday. For Marcus's future, she'd whispered in her final days. Her hand cold in mine. Make sure he's set.
Henry.
Promise me. I promised, and I meant it. Marcus was 24 then, finishing his MBA at Boston University on loans I'd co-signed. I used part of that money to clear his debts, then tucked the rest away, adding to it with extra tutoring gigs $7,500 a summer, grading papers until my eyes blurred. 3 years later, in July 2021, I handed Marcus $55,000 in a quiet ceremony of our own. Just us at the kitchen table where Elena used to make her famous lasagna. This is from your mom, I said, my voice thick. For a down payment on a house someday. Build something solid. He hugged me tight, tears in his eyes. Thanks,
Dad.
I'll make you both proud. Fast forward to February 2023, when he met Sophia at a networking event. She was everything glossy, daughter of Edward and Lillian Harrington, owners of a chain of luxury hotels across the Northeast. Edward, with his Harvard ties and yacht club membership. Lillian, the socialite who chaired galas for the Boston Symphony. They summered in the Hamptons, as if it were a casual verb. Marcus proposed 6 months later, and the wedding machine roared to life. At first, it was subtle, the way they edged me out. The save-the-dates arrived in embossed envelopes. the Harrington crest gleaming like a badge of exclusion. My name was there, but buried at the bottom. No mention of Elena. No nod to the life we'd built. I brushed it off. Weddings are stressful.
Right?
But then came the rehearsal dinner at one of their hotels. A private suite overlooking the harbor. Lillian stood for her toast, her diamond earrings catching the light, thanking everyone from the planner to the sommelier.
Not a word about me.
Not a whisper of Elena. Marcus clapped along, calling her the mom I always wished for. I sat at a side table, nursing a club soda, feeling like an afterthought. My old friend Carla, Elena's nursing buddy, leaned over. Henry, this isn't right. I shrugged. It's their day. But inside, it burned slow, like acid eating through metal. The hits kept coming. Marcus called a week before the wedding.
Dad.
About the father-son dance. Sophia's mom wants to do a group thing for all the parents. It might be awkward. You know, without mom. Awkward for who?
I thought.
But said, whatever makes you happy, son. He'd already spent that $55,000, not on a house, but on wedding upgrades, the open bar, the string quartet, the floral arches that cost $8,000 alone. I found out from Sophia's Instagram, a post gushing about their dream budget. He hadn't told her it was Elena's money. Hadn't told me he'd blown it. Add in the $28,000 I secretly wired for their Hawaiian honeymoon, first-class flights to Maui, a beachfront villa at the Four Seasons. Marcus had begged, Dad, help me surprise her. I'll pay you back. I did, because that's what fathers do. Right? Sacrifice in the shadows. Then the wedding band, $12,500. Platinum with diamonds. Sophia's dream ring, he said. I wrote the check. The photographer, $10,000 for the deluxe package. Another panicked call from Marcus. The Harringtons think it's covered.
But, can you?
I drove to the studio that afternoon, handed over my card. Total for me, $105,500. My take-home after 32 years teaching? $52,000. That's 2 years of my life poured into a day where I was treated like a prop. And Elena? Erased. No photo on the memory table. No mention in the vows. It was like she'd never existed. Like our family was a footnote in the Harrington saga. The night before the wedding, I couldn't sleep. I sat in my living room, the one Elena and I furnished piece by piece from yard sales, staring at her photo, our wedding day, 1990. Her in a simple lace dress, laughing. Don't let them diminish you, she'd said in her last lucid moment. You deserve respect. Henry. I'd been ignoring that for too long, letting the grief make me small. That's when the decision crystallized, quiet but firm. If they push me one more time, I'd push back. The wedding day dawned crisp and clear. Boston's fall leaves painting the streets in reds and golds. I arrived early at the Fairmont, as Marcus requested, to help with his tie, a small father-son ritual that felt like a lifeline amid the chaos. His suite was opulent, overlooking the public garden, stocked with Harrington-branded amenities. He opened the door in his tux pants, shirt unbuttoned, looking every bit the groom from a magazine.
Dad.
Thanks for this. I nodded, fingers steady as I knotted the silk. Big day. He grinned nervously. Yeah. Sophia's family pulled out all the stops.
Pulled out?
I thought, biting my tongue. No mention of the honeymoon I'd booked through a discreet travel agent, or the band I'd paid to fly in from New York. You ready? I asked. As I'll ever be. Just want it perfect. We shared a quiet moment, and I almost brought it up, the money, Elena, the erasures. But I held back. Not yet. The ceremony unfolded in the hotel's chapel, stained glass filtering sunlight into rainbows. I was seated in row 6, behind a sea of Harrington relatives in designer suits. Lillian walked down first, arm in arm with Edward, to applause like she was the star. Then me, alone. No fanfare. Sophia glided in, radiant, and Marcus's vows were heartfelt until he ad-libbed. I'm so thankful to the Harringtons for giving us this incredible foundation, for showing me what true support looks like. The camera swung to them, Edward nodding regally, Lillian dabbing her eyes. My chest tightened. Support? From the people who'd never lifted a finger for him growing up? Cocktail hour was a blur of small talk and sidelong glances. I tried to congratulate the couple, but Lillian intercepted, her perfume cloying. Henry, how nice you could join us. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. We've been so generous with the kids, best schools, connections. It's all about that solid start. Edward clapped my shoulder. Good to have you here, old man. Old man? I was 58. Not ancient. They drifted off. Lillian whispering to a friend. Loud enough. Financial security is key. Not everyone can provide that. The implication stung. The Harringtons were the providers. I was the charity case. Dinner plated up. Lobster bisque. Prime rib. Wines from Edward's cellar. Cost per head? $120. I did the math. $30,000 total. The toasts began. Best man. Witty anecdotes. Maid of honor. Tearful memories. Then Edward rose. Glass raised. We've given Marcus and Sophia everything they need, education, opportunities, a legacy. Applause thundered. No one mentioned me. The DJ opened the floor. Any other toasts? That's when I stood. Heart pounding but resolve stealing. Carla whispered. Henry. But I walked forward, mic in hand. Marcus's interruption shattered the air.
Dad.
You're embarrassing me. Lillian chimed in, heels clicking as she approached. Let's keep to schedule.
Dear.
Cake cutting soon. She called me dear like I was a child. Edward loomed behind. Family toasts are done. Family? I was his father. Marcus gripped my arm. Please?
Dad.
Don't ruin this. Ruin? The word echoed. In that instant, the damning broke, the years of quiet giving. The grief I'd swallowed. Elena's memory trampled. I pulled away, voice low but firm. Ruin? After everything? I turned and left. Phone already out. First call, the travel agent. Cancel the honeymoon booking under Thompson. Full refund to my card. $28,000 back. Second, the band leader. Stop payment on the check. Services not as agreed. $12,500. Third, the photographer. Hold the final files. Balance rescinded. $10,000. Over $50,000 clawed back in minutes. I drove home. The city lights blurring through tears I hadn't shed since Elena's funeral. My phone exploded. Text from Carla. What happened? From Marcus. Dad. Where are you? Everyone's asking. I silenced it, poured a scotch, and sat in the dark. Elena's photo watching. For the first time in years, I felt the weight lift, even as the storm brewed. By morning, the fallout hit. Marcus called at dawn, voice frantic.
Dad.
The honeymoon's canceled? Sophia's in tears. I stayed calm. It was my gift. And after last night, silence. You embarrassed me, he spat. In front of the Harringtons. You embarrassed yourself, I replied. By forgetting who really supported you. He hung up. Sophia texted, Mr. Thompson. What's going on?
I didn't respond.
Not yet. Carla came over with coffee. The video's out. Someone filmed your walkout. It's going viral. I checked. 500,000 views already. Comments flooding. That dad deserves better. Spoiled kid alert. Karma for the snobs. The Harringtons? Furious. Edward left a voicemail. This is unacceptable. We've invested so much. Invested? Like Marcus was a business deal. Lillian called next. Voice icy. You've ruined their day over a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? No. This was years of dismissal boiling over. As the video spread, now at 2 million views by noon, the truth unraveled faster than I expected. Reporters called. I ignored them. But inside, the emotions churned, relief mixed with a hollow ache. Marcus showed up at my door that afternoon, still in his wrinkled tuck shirt, eyes bloodshot.
Dad.
Fix this. Sophia's parents are livid. The band's demanding payment. Photographers holding photos. I stood firm in the doorway. I paid for those. And you let them think it was you or them. His face paled. How did you? I know about the $55,000 too. Elena's money. Gone on upgrades to impress them. He slumped. I wanted to fit in. They made me feel small. And you made me invisible, I said, voice cracking for the first time. No mention of your mother. No respect for what we sacrifice. He begged. Please?
Dad.
Transfer the money back. I shook my head. No more. You earn your way now. He left in tears. And I closed the door, sliding down against it, sobs racking me. Elena's voice echoed. You matter. I'd finally honored that. By evening, Sophia called, voice trembling. Mr. Thompson. Marcus told me everything. The money was from you? From his mom? Yes. Silence. Then, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. She sounded genuine, caught in the crossfire. My parents. They assumed Marcus had savings. He lied to you too, I said gently. That's on him. She hung up, and I wondered if their marriage would survive the lies. The viral storm peaked at 5 million views. Podcasts dissected it. The teacher's stand, when family forgets gratitude. Comments poured in, support for me. Vitriol for Marcus and the Harringtons. That son's a user. Rich in-laws got served. Edward issued a statement via his PR team. A family matter. Resolved privately. But privacy was gone. Lillian's charity board whispered. She stepped back from a gala. Marcus's job at a consulting firm noticed. Clients joked about wedding drama, and his boss pulled him in for a talk. 2 days later, the money refunds cleared, $50,500 back in my account. I stared at the balance, then opened a new one, Elena Thompson Memorial Fund. First deposit, the honeymoon cash. Purpose, scholarships for widowed parents pursuing degrees. Elena would have smiled, her legacy redirected from extravagance to real help. Marcus texted nonstop. Dad. We're broke. Honeymoon's off. Sophia's with her parents. I replied once. Actions have consequences.
Inside.
It hurt, watching my boy flail. But enabling had to stop. Week 1 post-wedding. Radio silence from the Harringtons. Fury from Marcus. He showed up again, pounding the door. You destroyed us. No, I said through the screen. Your choices did. He revealed more. Credit card debt, $18,000. A leased Mercedes he couldn't afford. All to keep up appearances. Sophia had discovered it all. Screaming matches ensuing. She's talking divorce, he admitted, breaking down on my porch. I let him in then. Poured coffee. While Son. I wanted their world. After Mom. I felt lost. Grief twisted us both. But his way was destruction. Carla visited. You're strong.
Henry.
Elena's proud. We cried together, remembering her laugh. As weeks turned to months, the aftermath settled like dust after a storm. November brought chilly winds and clearer heads. The video hit 8 million views, spawning think pieces, invisible parents, the cost of ungrateful kids. I stayed offline. Focusing on teaching, solving equations felt grounding amid chaos. Marcus initiated contact, a voicemail.
Dad.
Counseling starts next week. Sophia insists. I'm sorry for everything. I didn't call back immediately. Trust was shattered. Rebuilding would take time. Sophia emailed. Detailed.
Raw.
I confronted my parents. They admit they were rude, but won't apologize. It's straining us all. She revealed Marcus's full deceptions, hidden debts, exaggerated job perks. I married a stranger. I replied, give him a chance to change. But protect yourself. The Harringtons? Damage control. Edward's business dipped slightly, partners wary of the family drama. Lillian lost her board seat. Gossip mills churning. Their younger daughter, Ava, texted me, Mr. Thompson. My family was wrong. You're kind. They weren't. It warmed me. Tell Sophia I forgive her, I said. By December, Marcus and Sophia moved to a modest apartment in Dorchester, away from Harrington influence. He switched jobs, $78,000 at a nonprofit. Humbler but honest. Therapy unearthed his grief. Elena's death left him chasing security in wrong places. I erased you to fit in, he admitted in a call. Stupid. Painful, I corrected. We met for coffee mid-December. Neutral ground at a Starbucks. Awkward at first. Dad. I agree to terms, no money asks. Weekly calls. Visits to Mom's grave. I handed him a list, similar to what I'd imagined. He signed, tears falling. I'll prove it. The fund grew, $32,000, with donations from viral sympathizers. First scholarship awarded in spring, a single mom studying nursing. Elena's spirit lived on. January 2025, progress. Weekly calls became genuine, stories shared. Laughs tentative. Grave visits. We laid lilies. Talked memories. Sophia joined once. Thank you for Elena's gift. I'm sorry we wasted it. Redirected now, I said. Their marriage strengthened. Boundaries set with her parents. Present day. February 2025. I'm in my classroom. Chalk dust on my hands. Teaching limits and derivatives. Concepts that mirror life. Approach infinity carefully. Or crash. The weight's gone. I sleep through nights. Wake lighter. Marcus calls Wednesdays. 7 p.m.
Sharp.
Last one. Dad. Sophia's pregnant. We're scared, but excited. Joy mixed with caution. You'll be a great father if you remember respect. I will. Thanks to you. Forgiveness? It's a process. I forgave the wedding slights. But vigilance remains. The Harringtons? Distant apologies through Sophia. They regret. Not enough. But not my battle. The funds at $45,000. Award ceremony soon. Elena's name etched in hope. Her last words ring true. I matter. Setting boundaries wasn't revenge. It was reclamation. In the end, relationships are equations. Input equals output. When unbalanced, recalibrate. I lost illusions. Gained self-respect. Was it worth it? Absolutely. What boundaries have you set? Think on that.